Turning now to your community focus. Today is Purple Thursday, a day to raise awareness about domestic violence and show support for survivors. Joining me now is Ashley Rogers, the Director of Family Shelter and Domestic Violence Programming at Crossroads Rhode Island. Thanks for being here, Ashley.
Thanks for having me here.
So as I mentioned, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we know that domestic violence impacts people of all socioeconomic levels. But how does financial vulnerability factor into that?
Yeah, so you're right. Domestic violence does affect people of all socioeconomic levels. But when you add on this layer of experiencing something like poverty, there are more risk factors. It's not as easy to leave a relationship if you don't have somewhere safe to go to call a new home.
Yeah, and let's talk about finding that someplace safe to go and to be able to bring potentially your children with you as well. How does Crossroads step in to help in those situations?
So we have a 24-hour hotline that people can call. And when they call, we give them resources to various different things. We may be able to get them into shelter or a housing opportunity.
And talk to me about the housing opportunities, because I know earlier this year, Crossroads launched transitional housing specifically for people who are trying to get away from domestic violence situations. How does that program work?
So we recently acquired a grant that gave us 7 transitional housing units, which allows us to serve more survivors. Last year we received around 1,000 hotline calls, and we were only able to serve about 150 of those callers.
Wow.
So while 7 may not seem like a big number, that is opening up shelter space and offering housing to people trying to leave a really difficult situation.
Yeah, if someone out there right now is watching this and thinking, I'm in that situation myself, or I know someone who is, what resources are available to them right now?
The first thing that I would say is to give our hotline a call.
Okay.
And we can kind of connect you with the resources that are out there in the community.
And in terms of, a lot of people who are fleeing domestic violence situations, as I mentioned, might have children. Are they able to bring them along? What does Crossroads do for families?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are really passionate about helping the younger generation so that they don't, end up with this transmission of violence going through the family. So children are always welcome in our family and domestic violence shelters. We provide programming for them as well. And
this being Purple Thursday, what's your broader message to the folks at home about domestic violence and the work that you're doing at Crossroads?
It's impacting you, whether you know it or not. Recent research suggests that actually maybe 1 out of 2 Rhode Islanders have experienced domestic violence. And so there's a big need for help and for support. Let's meet people where they are, refrain from judgment, and get people the help they need.
And the help is out there. Ashley Rogers from Crossroads Rhode Island, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.